everybody. Welcome back to the Royal Read. So glad you decided to stop by and give me a watch and find out what I'm reading on today. Well, what I'm reading on today is Charles and William and Camilla's performative um, escapades over at the D-Day Memorial in France. Every one of them. Well, it wasn't even, it was, everybody was crying. And I'm telling you, when I saw that, I threw my head back and cackled. I mean, I howled when I saw that because it's clearly performative. Camilla sitting there with them tears in her eyes, and Charles is wiping a tear away. And Edward and Sophie, they're sitting out there. He's crying. I believe him more than I do Charles and Camilla. To be honest, he at least he showed some emotions at the Queen's funeral. He actually cried. Him and Megan was the only one that showed any kind of emotions at the Queen's funeral. So if I had to believe, any of the actors in this particular saga, excuse me, let me adjust my camera. I would believe Edward. Maybe he was overcome with emotions. Since he's never served, he flunked out of the academy, 3 months in, I think. And he walks around with a trunk load of medals and a sword and a coat that came straight off of Paris runways. I mean, I cackled. I cackled. I was like my grandmother, threw my head back and just cackled. And think about how much grief they gave Megan for crying at the Queen's funeral. Those cosplaying, I mean, it's as if they never had an original thought in their whole life, that they never had an emotion. Now, Charles is crying at the D-Day memorial, but he didn't cry at his mom's funeral. His mother dead. He didn't cry at his father's funeral. His father dead. Straight flat face, straight ahead, nothing. Like I said, at least Edward it did cry. I saw him. I didn't see him cry at his father's funeral, but I saw him cry at his mother's funeral. And it's my understanding that Charles now made them take that out of the official newsreel. Made the news networks not show that. And then all of a sudden now him and Camilla is just boo hoo hoo hooing. Come on now. Do we believe this? I have the article here. I chose an article from news, not from People, because I refuse to listen to that dribble that they wrote about it in the Daily Fail. I mean, it's as if all of a sudden they have emotions. All of a sudden, I mean, since Megan came along, they don't do anything but cosplay her. They saw that people saw her as a human and could relate to her. And all of a sudden now they're human. Camilla, you know what I'm saying? She didn't have no qualms in screwing Diana's husband. Did she cry when Diana died? I think I, okay, this is my belief. Okay, I'm saying my belief. My belief. Um, I believe her and Charles had a hand in that because it just worked out too good for those two. I mean, it was just like clockwork. But unfortunately, his reign hadn't worked out like clockwork has it. They did everything they could, schemed and connived and ran over people and sabotaged people and maybe even plotted for people's demise to get where they are at. And now it's not going so well for them. I guess. I guess because everybody, like, if you you know, if you are a part of my tribe, you know how I feel about that. I feel that Charles doesn't have cancer. I believe it's all a ploy to for popularity, for sympathy, uh, to maintain the monarchy. I really do. A king stricken with cancer. Of course, the people are going to gather around and hold him close to their bosom because he's stricken with cancer. And if he is really stricken with cancer, God forgive me, and I do have sympathy for that, but I don't believe it because he is the best. I keep saying this over and over and over again, and I'm going to continue to say it. He is the best looking cancer patient I have ever saw. He has not, as my grandmother say, he has not lost narrow a hair off of his head. I believe he has more hair since he's made it public that he had cancer, supposedly, allegedly, possibly. And he hadn't lost a pound. His childbearing hips look just as perky as they always have looked. And he is way over in France. Now, Kate is saying that she can't be around people that, she might be susceptible to different illnesses and stuff like that because she's taking chemotherapy. Charles is shaking hands with everybody he can shake hands with. He's hugging veterans. He's doing all of that. He's just acting like he just don't have cancer. And I'm looking at this picture right now of him. Charles actually face look just as rosy and I mean he looks better than he's ever looked. So no, I don't believe he has cancer. Him and Camilla plotted against Diana, and that was about the lowest thing that you could do. Then he allowed Camilla's PR guy and Camilla on board with it, and so was he to use his son who had just lost his mother, which I believe that they had a hand in, to use him as a sacrificial lamb in order for her to grow in popularity, to get her to the point where everybody would be all right with her being queen. Okay, this is who these people are. Okay, so why would I believe that they would be above faking cancer, faking a cancer diagnosis? I don't believe it. I don't believe it. And Lord, if I'm wrong, forgive me and heal him. But I do not believe that Charles has cancer. He's on this picture with his face is just as rosy and full as he can be, and his hair has, I believe his hair has grown. He has more hair now. Come on now. Come on now. I was born at night, not last night. I'm making this video at night. Okay? I am, come on. Come on now. Come on. Come, stay with me now. Stay with me because I just don't believe it. All right, let's get into this article from people.com and then we'll discuss, okay? It said Queen Camilla looks overcome with emotion at D-Day events where King Charles delivered key speech. Queen Camilla had tears in her eyes as members of the royal family joined the veterans in a commemorating the 80th anniversary of D-Day. Now, I'm not marking the anniversary of D-Day because, listen, I respect my veterans. I respect the people who really go out there and put their body on the line for our freedoms. Now, I respect that. It's just the fact that to me, they were disrespecting them, making this as some kind of PR stunt. Charles standing there with all those fake medals on his chest, talking to people who actually have real ones that they earned by putting their bodies on the line, by hitting the beach. Okay. Charles, only beach Charles hit is the one in Rio de Janeiro or some distant private island. And he's standing there with all these medals on his chest that he gave himself or the queen had gave him, talking to people who actually earned theirs. It's disgusting. And then the his son who actually went into combat, who earned his medals, he disrespects him on the daily. All because he's more popular, all because his wife is more popular, all because they decided to speak their truth and tell the world about how he and that other bunch, his other son, had treated them, how they bullied him out of the family. But Harry actually earned his. He fought. He put his body and his life on the line. And here he stands lying to us about cancer. Lying. And I said that this is my belief. I have no proof of it, but he is the best looking cancer patient I have ever seen. If you show me a better looking one, I'm just saying. Come on now. Okay, let's read on. On June 5th, the queen, the proper queen, I heard a lady say that she won't call Camilla the proper queen. She calls Queen Elizabeth the proper queen. And that's what I'm going to do. The proper queen did not want this woman to be called the queen. She wanted her to be called the queen consort. It is so funny to me when the queen died, they forgot everything, all her wishes. They pretend like they just revere her so much, that they loved her so much, that they respect her so much, but they don't give a flying flip about what she wanted. She wanted Camilla to be the queen consort. She wanted Harry and Meghan to have security. She gave Harry and Meghan Frogmore Cottage. And she wanted Andrew to have Royal Lodge. I am consistent in what I say. I don't care about Andrew. I think, he's an alleged pedo. The Queen had to pay $12 million to pay off a lawsuit right before her Jubilee. But you still respect what she wanted. And the minute before she took her last gasp, before she blew out her last breath, Charles was plotting to take Frogmore Cottage away from Harry and Meghan, had no intentions of giving them any security. I believe the Queen had got to the point where she didn't know what was going on, and it's no telling what they told her about Harry and Meghan's security. But in Harry's lawsuit, he introduced evidence where the Queen wanted him and Meghan to have the security because of the fact that she knew what had happened to Diana. But do they honor her wishes? No, they do not. But every time they want to smear Harry and Meghan, they talk about, well, Harry and Meghan didn't tell the Queen that they were leaving. Harry and Meghan made her life hell right before she died, her and Prince um, Philip. Just leaving out the whole part of Andrew had a whole SA lawsuit going, and she had to pay out $12 million. And it's so funny to me that they always want to pretend like Harry and Meghan leaving or their actions um, contributed to the Queen's death. The Queen made sure she met Archie. You know what I'm saying? She made sure she saw Archie. She would FaceTime with him. She would send him gifts. She kept that connection. She made sure she met um, Lilibet. Okay, she made arrangement and made sure that they were safe. She gave them security. When Harry and Meghan came here for the Jubilee, she made sure that they had their own private procession down St. Paul's Cathedral into the service. She made sure they had security. She never broke off communication. She never broke off her relationship with Harry and Meghan. So if Harry and Meghan brought her so much grief, why was the Queen continuously making provisions for Harry and Meghan to see Harry and Meghan, to be part of their life, to be part of their children's life? Answer me that. It's just crap. And for these people to go over there and be so disgraceful and performative and do this stunt that they're doing over there crying and never shed one tear at the Queen's funeral. And when Meghan did, ridiculed her for it, smeared her for it, said that she was performative. And now every time you turn around, they're crying. Especially Camilla. Every time you turn around, she's crying, trying to soften herself up. Everything these people do is for the camera. Everything these people do is to try to manipulate the public. But we see you. We see you. So I'm not even going to read any more of this because it's all crap. Camilla will never, ever, ever be loved. She would never, ever be respected. Charles would never be loved and he never will be respected. William never will be loved. He never will be respected. Kate, I don't know where she at. We don't know what's going on with her. So I won't speak on her. But this performative crap that they pulled over there in France, and Camilla was putting flowers at I think it's at the tomb of the unknown soldier or something, or the they were putting flowers to and she didn't even know how to put the flowers down right. And then she walked off. She does not have a ladylike walk. She walked like a lumberjack. Just clunk, 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 clunk. Anyway, like I said, they gonna do everything they can to endear themselves to the public, and they thought that would be something to do. Okay. Everything that they ridicule Megan for, they praise them for it because they copy it. They're a bunch of cosplayers. They don't have a genuine emotion or a genuine idea between any of them. It's ridiculous. Anyway, that's my read for the day. That's my rant for the day. It just gets on my nerves. It really does. Like I said, it's nothing I respect more than the military and people who really put their body and their lives on the line. And then you go over there with your fake medals on your chest and pretend like you're crying for them. Ugh. All right, everybody. Thank you for stopping by for today's read. Bye.